Boom, there we are. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I had to sleep in. Oh well. It's Friday. Happy weekend wherever you are. Amazon. Give us a flash briefing.
Jamie, here's the latest from your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Barbara Klein. Russia's proxy government in Ukraine's occupied region of Kherson is accusing Ukrainian forces of carrying out strikes on evacuating civilians. The Russian-backed authorities say 4 people are dead, 13 wounded, after Ukraine launched a rocket attack. NPR's Charles Maines has
How many
more
people
from
were
Moscow.
fleeing if only
Kirill
4 died?
Starosta, the Moscow-appointed vice governor in Kherson, said the American-supplied rocket struck the Antonovka Bridge as well as a ferry boat carrying civilians across the Dnipro River.
Boat.
Ukraine's
Only
military
4?
acknowledged
Only 4
targeting the
died on
bridge,
ferry
but said the strikes occurred during a civilian travel curfew, part of a
Doesn't
wider
seem
effort
right.
to target critical military infrastructure. The disputed incident came as the Moscow-backed authorities have called for the evacuation of 60,000 civilians from Kherson in preparation for what they say will be the defense of
Hit
the
the
city
ferry
against
boat and 4
advancing
died.
Ukrainian forces. Ukraine has dismissed the Russian evacuation as a propaganda campaign. Charles Maines,
Well,
NPR News, Moscow.
Granted, the death toll,
The
it would
UN
seem that
Security
way,
Council is expected to vote on a draft resolution today imposing sanctions on Haiti's most dominant gang leader, Jimmy Barbecue Charaze. Linda Fasula reports
Jimmy
the U.S. and
Barbecue.
Mexico drafted the proposed measure.
The draft resolution would impose a global asset freeze, travel ban, and arms embargo on Haiti's most powerful gang leader. The draft accuses him of
that kind of
directly
barbecue.
contributing to the economic paralysis and humanitarian crisis in Haiti and engaging in acts that threaten peace and security and violate human rights.
Today's vote comes after a delay to revise the text in hopes of gaining support from all 15
Revise the
council
text?
members. The Associated Press
doing?
reports it eliminated any reference to Haiti's call for an international force to tackle the violence. Stocks are higher this morning amid worrisome signs for social media companies. NPR's Scott Horsley reports.
Stock in Snapchat's parent company fell sharply after the social media firm
No more
reported disappointing
Snapchat.
results. Separately, the Washington Post reports that Elon Musk plans to cut 3/4 of Twitter's workforce if his off-again, on-again purchase of the company is ultimately completed.
Off again,
Rising
on again.
mortgage rates continue to cut into
Funny.
home sales. The National Association of Realtors says sales fell in September for the 8th month
course
in a
they
row.
did.
Mortgage giant Freddie
People
Mac
have
says
paid
the average rate on a 30-year fixed loan is now 6.94%, up slightly from a week ago. The slump in housing is also affecting demand for appliances. Whirlpool's cut production by 35% and warns of challenging conditions through the first half of next year. Scott Horsley, NPR News,
Well,
Washington.
people can watch it by
Former
hand.
Trump advisor Steve Bannon is in federal court in Washington, D.C. to hear his sentence. Bannon is convicted of 2 counts of contempt of Congress concerning the House panel investigating the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. This is NPR.
And roll the
The
commercial.
Los Angeles City
Huh?
Council is
Wow.
still in turmoil
Oh,
at
are
almost 2 weeks since a racism scandal engulfed City
Oh.
Hall. As NPR's Adrian Florido reports, 2 of the council members heard
2 of 'em.
participating in a secretly recorded racist conversation are resisting calls to resign.
The LA Council president, who made
Yeah,
most of
just
the
kick 'em
racist
off.
comments on the recording, resigned last week, but pressure
Oh,
for the other
no.
2 council members heard on the tape to step down has not let up. Kevin De
Good.
Leon and Gil
Shouldn't.
Sevillo have apologized for
Don't
the
need those types of
conversation,
people in
during which
charge.
they plotted ways to increase political power for Latino
Need people that are there
politicians
for
while
everybody.
diluting the power of black voters.
Hello.
But De Leon said this week he won't resign, while Sevillo has stayed quiet. The scandal has upended politics in Los Angeles and brought City Hall to a standstill. Council leadership stripped both men of committee
we don't
assignments
need
to
them
try
anyway.
to force
Just
them
shut
to
it
give up
down.
their seats, and protesters have vowed to continue disrupting council meetings until they do. Adrian Florido, NPR News, Los Angeles.
The Houston Astros beat the New York Yankees 3-2 last night to take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 American League Championship Series. Over in the National League, the San Diego Padres
heard
and
they were the most
Philadelphia
cheating
Phillies are
club there
tied
is,
at
but-
1 game apiece. Game 3 takes place tonight in Philadelphia. The winner of each series will meet in the World Series beginning October 28th. I'm Barbara Klein, NPR News in Washington.
Hey, I'm Brittany Luce, the new host of NPR's It's Been a Minute, and I take your favorite...
Off. I don't care nothing about no new host. Amazon. What's the weather in Kenmore, Washington?
Currently, in Olympia, Washington, it's 51 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect rainy weather with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 40.
What's the weather in Kenmore, Washington?
Right now in Kenmore, Washington, it's 51 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies.
There you go.
Today's forecast has rainy weather with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 46
We needed
degrees.
it.
By the way,
Smoky.
there's an air quality alert in effect until
Smoke
Friday,
in the
October
air. Yeah, but the
21st.
rain's gonna
10 a.m.
help. Okay, chill. Slow your roll, G. All right. Amazon. What's new with NASA?
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Barbara Klein. Russia's proxy government in Ukraine's occupied region of
Amazon.
Kherson.
What's new with the NASA space agency?
Here's what I found from the web.
After a 7-month break, NASA is ready to resume routine spacewalks out of the International Space Station. After an investigation into moisture found in an astronaut's helmet in March, NASA has decided to resume spacewalks outside the ISS.
For more related and popular stories, you can ask me. Any news on Donald Trump?
What's that got to do with freaking NASA? Jesus. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
What did the Kaiser roll say to the bratwurst? Guten Tag.
Is accusing Ukrainian forces of carrying out strikes on evacuating civilians. The Russian-backed authorities say 4 people are dead, 13 wounded after Ukraine launched a rocket attack. NPR's Charles Maines has more from Moscow.
Kirill Stremusa, the Moscow-appointed vice governor of
Amazon.
Kherson,
Off.